GHRTV and this week's Human Rights News Update. First, we begin with China and its Universal Periodic Review. The UPR is a process under which all UN member states undergo a review of the human rights record every few years at the UN Human Rights Council. The stated purpose of the UPR is to be a cooperative mechanism to improve the human rights situation on the ground. China is now undergoing its fourth review after the third in 2018. The Chinese government delegation heard recommendations and responded to questions from member states on a range of human rights issues. The UK called on China to cease the persecution and arbitrary detention of Uyghurs and Tibetans and allow genuine freedom of religion or belief and cultural expression without fear of surveillance, torture, forced labor, or sexual violence. While the US said China should release all arbitrarily detained individuals and cease the operation of forcible assimilation policies, including boarding schools in Tibet and concentration camps in Xinjiang. The UK also recommended that the national security law in Hong Kong be repealed and specifically called for the prosecution of the pro-democracy activist Jimmy Lai to be dropped. China claimed their repression of Uyghurs is done in the name of counterterrorism and their suppression of civic space in Hong Kong as providing stability in the city. Additionally, China said in its state report ahead of the UPR that it attaches great importance to follow-up work on the recommendations it accepted in its third UPR in 2018. However, many of those accepted recommendations were weak or problematic or encouraged China to continue policies that violate human rights. Next, in Bangladesh, the election victory of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina earlier this month has led to violence and human rights violation. Ms. Hasina secured a controversial fourth term with the main opposition party deciding to boycott the poll and conduct protests that left many dead. Around 25,000 opposition leaders and supporters were arrested, while some were tortured and denied treatment, says the Human Rights Council experts, who also mentioned the widespread attacks, harassment, and intimidation of civil society, human rights defenders, journalists, and political activists. The experts have written to the Bangladesh government urging officials to conduct full, prompt, and independent investigations into the numerous allegations of human rights abuses and violations. Thank you for tuning in to this week's Human Rights News Updates. For further updates and human rights reporting, please follow us on social media.